Hey guys, welcome back, and now I will just explain to you a couple more things on what you can do and what I did basically. So you can see I was building the last 2 days. I was just building a couple of things. You can get this full project if you want. Just download this on Udemy. It's no biggie. But I did show you previously how you can build your own stuff. So just go crazy. I will give you a few additional tips. So basically, use a lot of those different planks and wood pulls. And you can close gaps. For example, if you have this wooden element, this is a concrete element for a door. Feel free, you can give it depth. Let me get unlit so you can see. You can move this door, you can move it inside. Okay, and then you can get wood planks and you can fill those wood planks around those edges. This is one element, and this is another element. So then feel free when you just connect elements, right? This is an element next to it. Feel free to always use different wood planks. Rotate them 90 degrees, 180 degrees, so that this is not always the same texture. You can see here it's the same texture, so we can just, boom, 180. So now you have the ability to only click on the parent, and you can just move it right away. And the good thing is now you can, look at this, scale it without screwing up your single meshes. Isn't this amazing? Good. So I scaled up everything by 1.2. Make sure the lock is activated and 1.2 everything. This is what I did, and also I changed the mesh. So I didn't really change the mesh. I just changed the path. I made the path smaller. I flattened this out, and I gave myself some bumpiness here with another map. So I will just show you what I did. Let me save. I will just show you what you can do. So now you have this mesh, right? Let me go back. So I can show you what I did. Delete this. Okay. So what I did, here this was still bumpy. We had hills here as well. So what you can do, you can go to sculpt mode, and then you can click on the plus or minus. So if you want to raise something, you can do like this. Let's increase the strength. If you want to raise something, you can do that, something like this. Right? Or if you want to lower something, you can click on the minus and you can lower something. So this is how I also created my path. So I made a small radius, and then you can press 7. Let's make a smaller radius, and then you can create a path like so. And then what I did as well, so now you can tell, like here, this is elevated. So, but I made sure that this center here is not really bumpy, because this is going to be a path, and when you also want to use water or like puddles, this needs to be straight, otherwise it's not going to look good. It's going to look horrible. So what you can do is you go back to object mode, then in edit mode, and then you can select the path. So just the center here. So just the small line inside this path. You can activate the proportional editing, and then you click SZ and use your mouse wheel accordingly. And then you can drag it. So now he's flattening it. And this is like how much of the area you want to have in effect. So make sure it's a small path. So don't do something like this. Keep your detail. Do something like this. And then you can just straighten this. Now you can see it's perfectly straight. If you press 1. If this is too hard, like too much for you, you can also just go SZ. And just soften it up a little bit. Alright, so but this is how I do my things. And then when it's too artificial, you can just go back to scope mode, and then you can just sculpt maybe on those edges. So of course this is way too hard, but you get the idea. So this is the clay brush. Just do it with this like small amounts. And then you can always go, you can also just use the flatten brush. So use flatten. And then make this radius a bit bigger, and then you can get the minus direction, and then you can just also flatten it. So just play around with those things and do it step by step. Okay? So this is just one thing you can do. And then you can always go back here and S, Z, and just straighten this. Boom. Okay? So this is what you can do. And this is how I also just got rid of those hills here, because those hills, they were just too, it was just too narrow. So I just removed that. Okay, so now you can also do something cool. So when everything's like flattened out, for example, so let me just, when everything is flattened out and everything is like really boring, and so we lose a lot of detail in the center. We still have the detail here from Gaia, so this is perfectly fine. You can just use this. You can just use this mesh, and you can displace this again. So I just undo. I just did undo a couple of times. So I'm back. And now you can get a displace modifier. Deform, sorry, displace modifier. When I find it, click on this texture here, get a new one, open, and then you can always go back and get this. You can get your detail back. Go to Gaia, get this height map we used in the beginning. So this is our Gaia displacement map. Import this, but now we have to change a couple of things. He's trying to displace this a lot of times. The reason why that is because when we go to UV editing, you need to unwrap this again. Okay, just press U and unwrap angle based, and then you're going to have something similar like this. If this is not really straight, because it's really bumpy, right? So if this is not really straight, you can just click on this edge select here, click on any face, doesn't matter where it is, on any face, just choose one face, okay? Just choose one. And this one here is align vertically, this one you click align vertically, this one you click align horizontally, and this one you click align horizontally. Now you have a perfect face, which is straight on all axes. Press 3, click on this, press L, right click, and follow active quads. Once you do that, your whole mesh is perfectly straight. And then you can scale this accordingly and put this inside. So with S and G, S you can scale, and with G you can move it. But make sure you press A so everything of course is selected. Then you can scale evenly and you can move it. And I made sure I have a tiny gap on the edge. Yeah. Okay, but this is how you have this perfectly straight UV again, only in one place, in one UV space. And then you can see it's not doing it. So why is it not doing it? Because our coordinates are local. We need to change this to UV. And then you need to decrease the mid-level for this Gaia map. It's only for the Gaia map, okay? And then the direction is Z, so it's up. It's only up. And then you can get back your detail if you want to. And if you think like, yeah, but this is not enough, I don't know, you can also get another texture. So delete this here, texture, delete this, and get a, for example, clouds or noise, and then you can decrease the noise to get more detail, the size, the size, and then you go back. You need to change the mid-level. If it's a blender texture, in this case a noise, Musgrave, clouds, you need to change the mid-level to 0.5 again. And then decrease the strength. Now you have detail. Now you have detail again, if you want to have this bumpiness, especially for those things here. Okay? So this is how I achieved this. And this looks much better. and you're gonna have so much detail. And then you can apply that. So either one you want to have, it depends what you want to have. Just apply it again. And then you can just press 7 and get back to this path here, for example. All right. And then maybe just do a little more. And then you can just proportional editing, enable S, Z, and just scale it like so. Maybe increase a little bit. And do something like this. Boom. And now your path is perfect. Again. So I only have this path perfectly straight because I want to have puddles here and in the center. And once you use water stuff, you need to have those things perfectly straight. Okay? You cannot have water here or here. This is not how physics works. It's always perfectly straight. Okay, but so we are going to use like a mix of like sand, like soil and mud, and like with puddles. So 2 different materials we will just blend, and then here we will just blend grass texture. This with soil here, we will just blend it. Okay, so this is it. I exported this already, so now you can just click on this, shade smooth, file, export, and export this as a new mesh. And then you can just re-import this. Terrain, right click, and re-import with new file, and you get the new file. Or just re-import if you overwrite your file, your terrain, you can re-import. Or if you have a new file, re-import with a new file and choose the right file. And this is it. Okay, so now you can go crazy, add like noise detail if you want to, maybe add another hill here. You can flatten this. I raised this here also. So I always used proportional editing. And then you can do stuff like this. Okay, so just go crazy. Now I will just, before I close this, because I don't need this anymore, I will just check. Let's press play. I will just check if everything is all right. So the mannequin is must be like 2 meters, I believe. The mannequin is pretty tall, but now the buildings are perfect. So I just scaled them up by 1.2. Okay, so if you have the whole building, you can just scale them up a little bit, and I did 1.2 for each house. Now it's perfect. All right, and I think the building, everything looks good. It looks Japanese in my opinion. Oops. So yeah, it looks Japanese. Of course, we're going to add more stuff, like some flags, some stuff hanging down. We need more gutters. I will just, in the next episode, I will just add more gutters. Okay, just go crazy with that. Just put it here, like so. You have 3 different ones. This is the small gutter, the medium gutter. You also get in this file a small gutter with just half the size, like so. And you get a big gutter, so you can also get this for the main roof if you want to have a big gutter. Okay. Good. So now you can see what I did. Just go crazy, build things, and feel free to get my file, and then you can also just work from there if you want. Okay, thanks.